When I came back home, I had that, failure feeling, just like threw my life away, and I was still just not giving a damn about life. I was disrespecting my mother, not really getting along with my sister. I had a group of very toxic friends who it took a trip to Washington to let go of. It was just all bad, and I look back like, was that really me? And that's how I know it wasn't. Like, I'm so laid back now, so it's just crazy to. It's just towards the end of my stay in North Carolina before I came back. I was trying to join the army, and I quit smoking. Lost a little weight, but I didn't lose enough. So when I went to MEPS, I got really depressed because it was 2 pounds off, and it was, oh, we can't send you. So more drinking and more getting in trouble from not having anything positive to put my attention into. So I asked my father if I could go live with him for 3 months in Washington State, and he said yeah. So I was home free after that. Went to kick it with one of my friends who I'm not naming. And this is somebody that I vented to and like confided in. And I had a couple drinks. And he knew that I was still going through that emotionally numb phase where if I was tried, it could easily be like, I just lay there and let it happen. And he did it. And he stopped eventually, but it's just like, I can never look at that person the same after that. So yeah, that happened the night before I flew to Washington State. So flying into Washington State, see my father, who is one great guy, really molded me into who I am right now, just from that short trip. And like he talked to me, he didn't make me feel like I was just this bad person. And then my sister Nia, also shout out to her, because our relationship really helped me too. It's just I met some pretty solid friends out there in Washington, and I met my fiance out there too. And but Washington was shaky. Washington was very up and down, and it plays a part in who I am now. So the two events that happened in Washington that kind of messed me up was I moved out of my father's house into an apartment with my then boyfriend and his friend. And we had an extra roommate who was younger than all of us, 18. So my boyfriend and his friend goes out for a job interview, and little dude kicks it with me, and we're cool. Like, we've kicked it before, and it's like nothing sexual about that relationship. So I come out one day, halter top of home, these fitted jeans, and he's just looking like, damn, Leah, shoot. And I'm like, yeah, not thinking nothing of it. But turns out this friend that I thought I had would also be trying to force themselves on me. And it would take a lot of stop. Can you please stop? No. Can you stop, please? Like, I don't know how many times I had to say stop before he actually left me the fuck alone. And what hurt me about that situation is that I told my boyfriend at the time about it, and he didn't do anything. Didn't say anything. Days went by, and I just got quieter and quieter and quieter. And it took my other roommate, who I'm still very thankful for that. He said something to him when I got off work one day, and he made him apologize. And if it wasn't for that, I don't know what would have happened to me, like, to keep staying silent about that. So yeah. And lastly, the third situation that happened there, I went to a party on a military base, out with some friends of mine, and I had a great time at the party. Like, it was awesome. But after the party, we went to a kickback in another barracks, and one of my friends went into the next room because we switched rooms. She went in, I followed behind her, and one of the guys that I had also knew pretty well came in behind us, and the door shut. So I'm looking back like, okay, well, everybody else coming in, right? So he's drunk. I had like 2 drinks. He rolled up on me like, damn, Leah, you cute, you blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, thanks, but slow your roll. And he just keeps getting more and more aggressive. Like, I want you. I just want to have sex with you. And I'm like, I'm good. Like, I'm with somebody I really don't want. I'm straight. So I'm thinking, because this is somebody that I know a little bit well, a couple of no's or just like, push him off me, it'll be cool. But this was a skinny guy, but he was a lot stronger than he looked. So them little pushes I was doing was not doing nothing. And I just kept getting pushed back and pushed back further into the bed. And I don't know if it was PTSD, but something clicked in my mind of college days and back home days. And I was like, just let it happen. It's going to be over in a couple of minutes. And it's like sometimes you can get so lucky. It's like you can escape PTSD sometimes and nothing bad will happen. You won't get triggered. But it'll be the one time that you think you can handle that emotional stress that'll fuck you up. And that is the moment where the camel's back broke. Like, I was through after that. What really set it off was not even the fact, yeah, I was upset that he did that and enjoyed it while I was just laying there. But also, the next morning, my friends that were at the party with me came in. It was like, you're trifling, you're a hoe, you're, disrespectful to your boyfriend. And I'm just looking at them like, if y'all only knew what went down in this room. And, to this day, I still feel like nobody really believed me, but it's okay. You know, it's hard to explain to people what that numb feeling is like. My body was in a shock. Like, I was just like, is this really happening again? So I ended up moving back home after a year of staying in Washington, and I really came back a changed person. Like, I don't go to parties because I can't go to parties anymore. Like, if we being real, I have to avoid certain places. Like, I have really bad social anxiety. I feel like everybody's talking about me sometimes. Like, I used to hear voices. The shit is crazy. And to this day, like, I don't drink hard liquor like I used to. If you see me, I might have a beer, some wine, but mostly I'm just pothead. No shame. you know, I just kick it at the crib with my books and my poetry. And sometimes I do cry because I want to go to these places and make friends, but I done lost so many over things that was really detrimental to my health that I'm just like, fuck it. Whatever friends I got now is cool, and that ain't many. I can count it on one hand. So, like, I just wanted to put that out there about my experiences with sex addiction, and it's, um, rest in peace to an old friend of mine, Ladarius Edwards. He was the first person to actually understand, like, to stop using that whole term. Like, he knew my story and he listened and he was like, nah, you're not a hoe. You're an info, you know? And he understood that it is something, rape trauma is a bitch. I've never, like, that feeling of participating in something that you didn't want to do, it was forced on you and you just gave up and laid there like, because you couldn't get up. And it's like, I can't explain it to nobody that ain't felt like that before. So, you know, I've ended up in the mental hospital. I've ended up, in therapy. I've ended up in counseling and on medication and just trying to self-medicate. I have quite the journey, and I feel like it was just time to let that piece out there. If it helps somebody, cool. If it doesn't, shit, I feel like I helped myself a little more. I would definitely talk to y'all more about everything that came with getting raped and my prior drinking problem in high school. I don't have no shame because I'm living so much better now, and I only have up to go. So yeah.